Okay, let's dive right into this explainer. We're going to start an incredible journey today, one where we finally tackle that nagging internal doubt and literally rebuild our self-trust from the absolute ground up.
So if you've ever felt totally stuck in that cycle of setting big goals and then almost immediately talking yourself right out of them, well, it actually often starts the second you wake up. Seriously, think about it. What was your very first thought about yourself this morning? Before you even fully opened your eyes, what was that little voice in your head saying? For a lot of us, it sounds kind of like, I'm so exhausted, or I am just not a morning person. And we brush these off as just groggy morning thoughts, but actually, they aren't just passing observations. They are declarations of identity. You're actively telling your brain exactly who you are before your feet even hit the floor.
And this brilliantly illustrates how the stories we tell ourselves constantly in the background are literally programming our lives, and a lot of times holding us back. Think about the stark difference between a reactive, limiting belief like, man, I always mess things up, and an identity-driven, proactive stance like, I am someone who builds consistency. The underlying narrative of your identity is running in the background, kind of like the operating system on your computer. If your OS is coded with, I'm inconsistent, or I always leave things to the last minute, well, your brain will naturally just seek to execute behaviors that prove that code right. To change the output, we've got to rewrite the code.
Which brings us to this sort of abyss of broken promises we've all felt at some point. The source material refers to this as the self-trust gap. And here is a pretty profound truth. You were not born doubting yourself. Really think about that for a second. Self-doubt is learned. It's accumulated. You don't just lose self-trust all at once in some massive dramatic explosion of failure. No, it drains out of you slowly, just one unkept promise at a time, until you look in the mirror and you just stop believing that you'll do what you say you're going to do. The self-trust gap is basically that huge distance between the person you intend to be on Sunday night and the person you actually act as when Monday morning rolls around.
You know exactly what this feels like, right? There's this specific, heavy kind of silence that happens right before you talk yourself out of doing something good for yourself. It's that little pause right before you decide, nah, I'm not going to submit that job application, or the exact moment you decide to hit snooze instead of going for that run. In that silence, your brain is doing a lightning-fast check of your recent track record. And if it sees a pattern of inconsistency, it just whispers, hey, why bother? We both know we aren't going to stick with this. That is the self-trust gap actively sabotaging your goals. It's a painful place to be, for sure, but recognizing it, that is the absolute first step to crossing it.
Now, what is really fascinating about this next concept is how we can completely abandon relying on fleeting willpower. Because let's be honest, willpower is just a battery that drains throughout the day. What we actually need is an engine, and that engine is the identity reinforcement loop. This is the core framework that lets us bypass that exhausting everyday struggle of forcing ourselves to do things we really don't want to do, and instead helps us naturally act in accordance with who we have decided to become.
So the absolutely crucial point here is shifting our focus totally away from the myth of raw discipline and moving toward the psychological reality of identity. There's this incredibly powerful quote from the material that hits the nail on the head. It says, discipline isn't a skill you practice, it's a person you become. Most people treat self-discipline like a muscle you only flex when you happen to feel motivated. But true, lasting discipline, it's not about what you forced yourself to do at all. It's a reflection of who you fundamentally believe you are. If you believe deep down that you are an athlete, you don't need immense willpower to go train. Training is just what athletes do. So what exactly is this loop? Well, the identity reinforcement loop is essentially the cycle that keeps your habits, your results, and your self-image inextricably locked together. You simply cannot change one without eventually impacting the others. If your self-image is poor, your habits are going to reflect that, which yields poor results, which then, you guessed it, validates your poor self-image. Our goal throughout this explainer is to show you exactly how to reverse the direction of this cycle. We want it working for you rather than against you, so you can cross that threshold into a fully restored sense of confidence and consistency.
Okay, let's break down the exact mechanics of how this loop operates in 3 simple steps. Step 1, self-image drives behavior. Essentially, what you believe about yourself dictates what you do. Step 2, behavior creates evidence. Every single action you take is basically a vote for the type of person you're becoming. And finally, step 3, evidence reinforces identity. When your brain sees you repeatedly taking a specific action, it literally updates your self-image to match. You stop trying to be consistent and you start actually being someone who is consistent. By generating undeniable evidence through small actions, you're forging a completely new self-image. Let's bring this into the real world with a super practical scenario. We're going to look at your morning habit loop. We talked earlier about how those very first waking thoughts can kind of poison your whole day, right? Well, now we're going to replace them with a deliberate sequence of actions designed purely to manufacture self-trust before 8 a.m. Imagine this timeline with me. 7 a.m., you wake up on the very first alarm. No snoozing allowed. 7:15, you drink a full glass of water. 7:30, just 5 minutes of stretching. Now, on the surface, I know these seem entirely trivial. Like, who cares, right? But psychological momentum is built entirely on keeping promises to yourself no matter how tiny they are. When you wake up on that first alarm, you're casting a powerful vote that you are someone who keeps their word. When you drink that water and do that quick stretch, you are piling on the evidence. By 7:35, you've already stacked 3 consecutive chronological victories. You are actively proving to your brain that you are the one in control.
Now, as you start implementing these new habits, there's something kind of unexpected you might encounter. You might find yourself making real, measurable progress, but simultaneously feeling completely exhausted, stuck, or even invisible. Why does that happen? It's because you are actively rewiring your brain. You're caught in the turbulence between your old identity and your new one. Your brain is expending massive amounts of energy, fighting the old narrative while it tries to cement the new one. So, feeling exhausted? It's not a sign that you're failing. It is literal biological proof that your identity is actually changing.
And this is exactly why we have to completely reframe how we view our progress. Small wins are not small. They are identity evidence. There's a great little anecdote from the source material about this. Imagine you're posting a piece of content where, say, the thumbnail took way too long to make, and in the end, it just wasn't perfect. The immediate thought is usually, that barely counts. We all do this. We constantly minimize our efforts when they aren't flawless. But simply doing the work, even imperfectly, secretly does the heavy lifting of rewiring your brain over time. That imperfect action is a solid brick in the foundation of your new identity. It counts. It absolutely always counts.
To really complete this journey and rebuild that self-trust, we have got to talk about how to document these micro-victories. You cannot rely on your memory here. Why? Because when you inevitably hit a roadblock, your brain's default negativity bias is going to swoop in, erase all memory of your recent successes, and instantly amplify your failures. It's just human nature. You need a tangible, physical record of the promises you've kept.
So here's some super practical tracking methods you can start using right now. First, literally note waking up on time. Just check a box. Second, log those completed microtasks, like finishing that glass of water or sending that single, really difficult email. Third, and honestly most importantly, record those moments of overcoming hesitation. Did you feel that heavy silence right before you almost talked yourself out of something, but then you pushed through and did it anyway? Write that down. Having this concrete, visible proof is what finally bridges the self-trust gap. When the doubt eventually creeps back in, you don't have to rely on some vague positive thinking. You just look at your irrefutable data.
Which brings us to our final thought for today. Who are you proving yourself to be every week? And I don't mean who do you wish you were or who do you plan to be someday, based entirely on the small actions and the evidence you're actively gathering right now. Who are you proving yourself to be? Remember, self-trust is not some magical gift bestowed upon the lucky few. It is a totally logical byproduct of consistency. Start small, stack up your evidence, and let your daily habits rebuild the person you are meant to become. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I highly encourage you to go out there and start gathering evidence for your new identity right now.